Alright, just finished setting up Calypso's new enclosure. I think it turned out pretty good, and I wanted to give you guys a little walkthrough of what I did and how it's set up here. Starting out in the upper left-hand corner, I have a fogger set up. Pipes coming in the back of the cage. Can't really see it. I think it's a little too dark. Yeah, it's a little too dark to see the pipe coming in, but the bushes covering it, and it overhangs the water, so if it drips at all, there's no mold issues. I also have a basking branch for her right underneath her ceramic heat emitter, as well as her hot hide. Kind of seeing it a little bit there. It has another entrance on the other side. See if we can see in there. Don't think the camera's gonna fit. Yeah, it can't fit. Whatever. So yeah, that's her hot hide. And then moving down to the corner over here, we have her little cave hide. It's a medium temperature. I just bought chunks of rock and broke them up and stacked them to make a little cave. It's a little too big for her right now, but she'll grow into it. Then in the last corner over here, we have her cool hide. It's a log hide, obviously, as well as another little water source. It'll be colder water for her. And it has a little branch hanging over. Then this is her main like soaking bowl. Eventually I want to get a branch to kind of spread up through the cage here. Give her another elevation up by the branch here, so she can have more places to go if she wants to get warm or closer to the heat source. Down here I have a few gauges, humidity gauge and thermometer. Thermometer needs new batteries, I think. Yeah, but the probe is back by the cave there. Over here we have another one. It's identical, and that is giving me the cool temperature. I think the probe is actually back behind the log hide there. Yeah, you can't really see it, but it's back there. And last is this one. It's got the temperature and humidity. The thermometer probe is up here, giving me the hot temperature, and the humidity probe is down here. I wanted to keep it a little bit away from the fogger to give a more accurate read. And then on the side here, I have glass, so you can see in from the outside. Same thing on this side. I also have these bolts here. One here, and then they also they continue to run around the cage. And those are to bolt the two parts of the cage together, because it actually is two parts, and it runs onto the substrate, obviously. And I also have some supports here that run back all the way to the back of the cage there. Same thing here. And that kind of holds the substrate in place, so she can't push it around too much, so it stays like evenly covered. Moving to the outside, you can see how you can see in the side there, not just the front, which is nice. And then I have a big glass door on the front. Yeah, I hold it open with a carabiner and chain setup. I actually saw this, got this idea from someone else on YouTube, so I'll put their video in the description. You have an eye hook here with a carabiner again. And power supply here. I have a surge protector with power hooked in. It also has my humidifier plugged into it, which then runs back into the back of the cage like I showed you before, right back in that corner. And then on the other side here, we have it's a little tight squeeze. Give me a second. And I don't know if you can really see it, but there's lights here. Light switches, rather. The middle one is for the humidifier, turns it on and off. See, I just turned it off. And then the closest one is the heat source, and the farthest one away is the daylight. So turn those off, and we can take a look, see what it looks like at night. Just that red glow, just nice. It also helps the cage to not get too cold at night. You can see that's the only light on. That was the daylight. And there's her ceramic heat emitter, both off now. Yeah, I mean, it makes it significantly darker. Obviously a good thing. So I can keep her on a day and night cycle. Back to the outside of the cage. This is how I lock it up. I have these little locks here. Just kind of goes right on that loop. Close it up. It's good to go. And here's the key for the lock. That's all it is, just a little key. Turn it, pops off. Then up here, I have the latches. They just fall right over that little loop I was just showing you, and the lock goes in that way. So I'm gonna go get Calypso and put her in, and I'll be right back with you guys. Alright, just got Calypso in her cage. She seems to be enjoying it, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the lighting box before I show you her. I just need to move the chain. I think it may have just fallen behind the cage, so give me a quick second to pick that back up. Alright, so the lighting box here is on hinges, so I can just lift it right up without having to go into the cage and disturb Calypso. And I have her daylight right there, as well as her 24-hour bulb and her 60-watt ceramic heat emitter. Also have chicken wire so she doesn't climb up into the heating box and burn herself or anything like that. Pretty neat little setup, I guess, for the lights. Like I said, it makes it so I don't have to get into the main part of the cage and disturb the snake at all to either change the lights or fix some wiring, whatever it may be. And there's Calypso in her cage, enjoying that heat emitter. And down here we have the temperature. Let's see. I think it looks like it's at 83-ish right now. Obviously it's a little bit lower because the door has been open for a while. It does get up to about 92 in that hot spot, which is pretty good for her. So yeah, there it is. I hope you guys like it and leave comments.